All right, let's make a quick review of today's trades. Today is January 27th, 2023. My first trade, not my first trade, but the first trade that we're going to review is Mark. It had a big move here on pre-market. It kept holding over here on the 15 minute, and then it went below the 15 minutes, so I started watching it whenever here on the 5 minute, whenever it started making some higher lows and VCPing or contracting, consolidating here for a while. So I decided to take an entry here around 154, risking low of day. My now in hindsight, I guess after all this consolidation here, I guess I could have maybe risked 149 instead, so I could add a more size. Yeah, I didn't see that, So I guess next time maybe add more size and then bring my risk up here. However, this thing started working, went all the way to 167, which is about 13 cents after my entry. But I wanted much more than that, so I took no profits here. I took zero profits, and then I just saw this thing coming back. But see, the volume was also coming back too, so I'm like, okay, maybe it's gonna hold. So I moved my stop now. Now I moved my stop. After that, after I didn't take profits and it started consolidating here, I'm like, you know what, I am gonna move my stop. So I moved my stop to the low of my entry. So about to break even. So and then that's what I did. Boom, came down here, broke me even, pretty much broke even. So yes, I didn't take profits, but like I said, I wanted more. Like I saw all the AI plays going up, so I thought this was gonna follow, but it didn't. Well, next QN. QNCX had a huge move pre-market, and then this thing started coming back down here on the 15 minute, and it held the 9 MA for a little bit. So that's when I got interested in it after I saw it holding here, making higher lows, and started to contract a little bit. So I took an entry here around 123 and risking low of day 115, and then boom, it started working really fast. It went up to 137, about 15 14 cents after my entry. But again, I took no profits on this thing. I wanted this thing to go all the way up, or at least break high of day, give me more like of a 2 to 1, maybe a 3 to 1 scenario. And then it just came back. But as soon as it started, let's see here on the 1 minute. Yeah, as soon as it started losing fast, like coming down fast with a lot of selling volume here, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna move my stop up. I'm not gonna let this thing go all the way down to my stop. So that's what I did, and it actually worked out fine this time. So a very small loss there. I'm glad I was able to read level two and see a lot of selling on level two and on the tape. So I was able to move my stop a little bit more, and that was actually a very good loss. Okay. Um, for next time, how I can do better on this, I guess, like this was a massive selling here, so I guess it would be better if we had a little bit more of a consolidation around here, and then I could have got in. I think I was premature on my entry, especially after all this selling here, right? So let's keep that. Let's keep that in mind for next time. Okay, next one. Inzy, INZY. This thing showed up on my scan um, earlier in the day, but I didn't like this big sell-off here, so I kind of forgot about it, let it go. And then whenever it came back to view up, I saw it again, and then I saw this consolidation here on view up, on top of view up. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give this a try. This is a low risk, so I got in around 252. Now I was risking the low of this candle here, with this impulse candle here, which was 246. and I was just trying to give it a chance, like see if it maybe could go around here, maybe make 30, 40 cents on it, and but nope, it didn't work at all. But I did put myself in a good situation, I feel like, and I was able to risk little right under the EMAs, right under the view up. That's what I was risking. I think it was a good risk. The volume was dry, so it could have gone, really. Who knows, right? But it didn't. So it stopped me out. Very small loss. Again, happy with how I managed my risk here. Next one, NVVE. Wait, I forgot. On Easy, how I could do better on Easy is maybe, man, I don't know really here because I've seen this play so many times and I've seen that this thing actually could go. But yeah, I guess, this big sell off here right against the 200 SMA, I think, you know, yeah, who knows. Yeah, and also here, look at the 5 minute, like this big candle with very big, I mean, it's big volume with very little candle here, very short candle. This is not very good, the volume price analysis, right? But yeah, but anyways, risk management was good. Give it a try. Didn't work. Next is NVVE. Um, okay, so this is a setup that I've been working with my brother. It's called Flush and Surf, which is when the stock starts to go up, and then it just flushes, but then it, it stops on around the 90 MA on the 5 minute, and it just serves the 9 minute, and then after it finds a finds a top and it starts going sideways, consolidating here. That's when we want to get in, and that's what I did. I got in around 187, 188, and I was risking this low here of these candles here, which is about 180 ish, and this thing actually worked pretty good, right? It started going up, and I took profits early. I took profits around 212, I think. I had a couple other little losses earlier, so I'm like, you know what, I just want to take a nice 2-1 loss win here, and that's what I did. Took some profits around this area, and it went a little bit more, but see, like I had no reason to get out here because it kept holding the 9 EMA, so I could have just keep going here, holding a little more, maybe around this area, you win volume, all huge volume and not moving anywhere. So maybe this is a good time for me to start getting out, right? But okay, it's a nice win there, put me green on the day. So yeah, I guess what I could have done better was really the exits. Not getting out just because of P&L, but get out because of technical reasons. Next is AKAN. AKAN. Okay, so AKAN, I was watching this thing from yesterday. It had a big move and a sell off, and I've been noticing that lately moves that have these type of moves on day one, on the next day it gives at least a nice bounce. But my mistake here was that the bounce was already in the beginning of the day, and that's not what I played. I played this bounce here. That's the bounce that I wanted. So when I came back, it started consolidating here, small candle. So I took my position here on 43 cents. I was risking the low of it. It's 40. This is low here, so it's about 40 cents, and I wanted it to go, you know, to come back up a lot more than this, right? But it didn't have any strength, and I think because the bounce that I was looking for was already this bounce here, right? The beginning of the day. But again, like I managed my risk well. Like as soon as I started working, I moved my stop over here, so it was almost pretty much a break-even trade. There's a very small loss in this, nothing really. Um, who knows, right? It could have gone, but yeah. But now looking in hindsight, I guess this big sell-off here and then this big candle here, I mean this big wick here, a lot of pressure, right? So yeah, well, good risk management again. I'm actually happy with it. Next is AUVI, AUVI. Let's this thing here. Okay. All right. So AUVI, this thing had a lot of volume in the beginning. Nice gap up. A lot of people talking about it. I was just watching it, and then it made some type of ABCD here. Maybe other people call it something else, but I call it an ABCD where it goes the A, comes back, makes the B, goes back up with some volume, and then pulls back with the volume drying up. That's where I got in. Right, I got in around 163-ish, risking 153-ish. And what I did here, my problem here was I wanted 2 to 1 of this thing, but the thing is I got in so big. I don't know why I got so many more shares than I had to, that I wanted to. So as soon as this thing started moving, I started selling, man. I started selling. And then whenever it flushed back down, I sold all of it here. And I was never there for this move, right? So again, an emotional sell. I should have not. I should have just kept my risk, maybe moved my risk up if I wanted to, but just kept it, and maybe I would have been able to sell some shares around high of day here. However, I'm happy how I was able to look at the setup, have a good place to risk off of, and I took the trade. Happy with it. I mean, happy with the entry. Actually, happy with what being able to see the setup, but very unhappy with my emotional state. Right, like putting so many shares and just selling everything after like 10 cents. Like having didn't even get to my 2 to 1. That was actually not good. Right, but okay. But what could I do better next time? I guess. Uh, just let the trade work. You know, put some orders on 2 to 1 and let it move. Then move my stop up and let the trade work. Let the trade do its thing. Whatever. Who knows? Maybe it would have came back here and consolidated and boom, went up again. Right. A lot more than this. So so yeah. What I can do better next time is just better sellings next time. Okay. Next trade was Foxo. So two things about this one here. So okay, first let me go over my trade, which was this right here. After the big move up, consolidating here on the 15 minute, see how the 90 MA started catching up. So that's where I got in around here, 108, 109. I was risking this low here, 102. And this time I did take profits. This time I did take profits fast. Whenever I got to my 2 to 1, it's actually a good 2 to 1 trade. Um, the reason why I took profits here and I didn't take profits on my other ones that kind of like had the same move was just because of that, because I saw that things were not breaking out. So I decided to go ahead and take my profits, and I'm glad I did because it just got killed after that. Now, another thing that I wanted to talk about on this one here was where the best entry would have been, which I missed it. I was watching it and I did not pull the trigger, which was right here. You see, look, on the 1 minute. Actually, let me zoom in here on the 15. So it comes up, makes a high, and then look, it just consolidates here right on top of the 90 MA here on the 5 minute. If I come to the 5 minute, now that I see it, look at this. It's kind of like a flush and surf, but yeah, it is. Yeah, it is a somewhat of a flush and surf. It's just that this time it didn't even hit the 90 MA. It was so strong, but it rode the 90 MA really nice. See, like nice contractions. So this would have been a good entry right around here, maybe around 68 cents. Could risk 63. You know, look at the move this thing gave. So yeah, I gotta keep an eye on that for next time. Whenever it has a good first day, second day holds prior day's close, and it's still very contracted candles. Comes below the 90 MA, comes below the 90 MA on the 15, and then it goes back up. And while it's doing that, it's contracting here, right? It contracts here on the 5 minutes. So that's actually a very good setup that I played before, and this time I just missed it. I don't know why. I guess because since it was like a sub dollar stock, and I'm not very good with it, so I guess I passed it. But next time, I'm not gonna let that happen. And look at the volume too. Beautiful volume. Okay, last trade was BZFD. Day 2 play as well. Okay, where did I get in here? Okay, so after the initial move, this thing came back down right below the 90 MA here on the 15 minute, but made a wick here. I guess it trapped some shorts. Coming back into the 5 minute, it consolidated right under the 90 MA, made this impulse candle that brought the price back to the 90 MA, and then it just consolidated here. Got real dry. Look at the volume. So that's where I got in. I got in 271 with my stop around 261, about 10 cents, 10 cents. You know, and then it started going up, and then it came all the way to 303. That's where I sold for about 321 profits. You know, and I left some on, but then whenever it flushed so hard, like look at the 1 minute, you can see better. See, there it goes. Yeah, the 1 minute. See how it flushed so hard. So like I'm like, man, if I didn't want to let this thing go all the way back to my stop with the rest of my share. So I just emotionally took everything here. Huge mistake, right? Because look what it did. Never broke my risk. Never even barely broke my entry, right? So I could have got in again here, and I don't know why I didn't. So, but next time I have to be better at getting back in these stocks, right? Because look at the missed setup here. Oh well, took a good trade to each one pretty much. Let's go next, BBAI. I didn't trade BBAI, just wanted to review it real fast. It was actually a good setup. Okay, so BBAI started weak, open weak, and then boom, very fast it reclaim here on the 15. If we come to the 5, it reclaim the 5. And yeah, here if you're playing over the 1 minute, you could find an entry right here around 230, risking low of day 227. I mean 215ish, right? Now I don't think I would have gotten this. Maybe I would have. Maybe I would have if I was watching the 1 minute. I would have gotten here. But I think the best setup was on the 5 minute. Whenever this thing made its highs, and then it came back again around below the 90 MA, contracted. See here, see this contraction right here. That's actually pretty good because look at the volume. So this could have been a good entry right here around 240s. It could risk this low here, 235. It's about 5 cent risk, and look at what it made after that. But yeah, but I guess if I was watching the 1 minute here, this could have been a good entry too because they reclaimed the 5 minute 90 MA, and after it reclaimed, see, look, made that nice pullback with volume stepping down. Anyways, that's something to keep an eye on. Actually, this is one of my good setups, and I completely missed this one. That was a busy day, as you can see, a lot of tickers traded. Anyways, that's it. Thank you.